Hello, Steve. Today is Monday, January the 20th. I want to start off today by wishing a happy birthday to my brother, who is also named Steve, and his birthday is today. And a happy birthday to my mom as well, whose birthday was on Saturday. Over the weekend, I ran 2.5 miles, and this brings my total up to 7.5. And based on the upcoming weather forecast, it's probably going to stay at 7.5 for the next little while. Over the weekend, I also took your recipe for barbecue chicken pasta and great success. Here are some photos of the end results. I already have my next dish lined up, and that will be pancakes, so expect that later in the week. Now, on to the murder mystery. I really enjoyed your video presentation last week. That was really cool, and the black and white was a very nice touch. And in this manner, we might want to consider similar types of videos when finalizing this project. The ideas really are starting to flow together. And to keep these ideas flowing, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the grade 9 math units. That way we can both use these units to build our problems around. The first unit is numeracy, and that revolves around fractions, integers, and so on. Pretty much anything with numbers. The second unit is on algebra, and this involves variable expressions and working with exponents, expanding over brackets, and the Pythagorean theorem. The basic scope of the problem you presented last video is perfect for the second unit. The third unit is called solving, and that revolves around solving for an unknown variable. For example, solve 2x plus 1 equals 15. The fourth and fifth units are on lines, and I'm sure you remember the equation y equals mx plus b. The sixth unit is on geometry, and that's really focused on interior angles and basic shapes. And the final unit of grade 9 is on measurement, and that revolves around perimeter, area, surface area, and volume. And using these, we should be able to come up with 7 scenarios that eliminate suspects one by one. I already have an idea for the first problem that's going to come from the numeracy section. Of course, it all begins with a murder happening and an investigation that ensues. The murder victim had a will, and the money in the will has been divided amongst loved ones, and some of the people that the money has gone to are suspects of the murder. Now, because of lawyers and pesky legal issues, the information about who got what amount of money is not known. So the investigators are left to determine how the money was divided up based on interviews with the suspects. Different suspects provide different information. For example, one could say, so-and-so got half of the amount of money that somebody else got, and it would turn into a pretty big fraction problem solved. And all of this will help set up the idea of motive. One suspect will have no money from the will, and that will bring up a discussion as to whether or not they had motive for the murder. Of course, you're probably aware that not getting any money in the will is not enough to eliminate a suspect, but it brings up some interesting discussion. On to different topics, I want to share something cool I learned yesterday. It's something I'd never considered before, and it actually came from a grade 8 student, which is pretty cool. And what this student came up with is a really cool way to find the area of a trapezoid. For example, consider the following trapezoid. To find the area, you have to add the top and the bottom to each other, divide that by 2, and then multiply by the height. And while that seems pretty straightforward, it's very easy to mix it up if you're just trying to memorize it. But then my student was like, why not just turn it into 3 triangles? So, if you forgot the first method I brought up, but you did know how to find the area of a triangle, you could use that instead. And I think the real reason why I'm bringing this up in today's video is just an excuse to use my favorite picture of all time. In chess, I'm interested in seeing how your bait strategy is going to end up working for you. My move is knight from a7 to c6. I do believe I have a move sequence in the works right now. It's brilliant, and you won't be expecting it. That's all for now.